Hello everyone, welcome to our channel. I hope you're doing well. Today we're talking about something that can truly change your life. How to make more money. Not through shortcuts, not through luck, but through powerful truths that most people are never told. If you've been stuck, struggling, or just tired of not having enough, this video is for you. You're broke. And maybe you're not just broke in your bank account. Maybe you're broke in your confidence, broke in your energy, broke in your belief that life can ever be different. And no one talks about this version of being broke because everyone is busy pretending. Let's be real. You're tired of watching other people win. You're tired of fake gurus selling you shortcuts. You're tired of working hard and still not having enough. But here's the truth nobody will tell you. No one is coming to save you. Not your job, not your degree, not your family, not your government, not your horoscope. If you don't decide to become rich in mind and skill and focus, you will live and die in the same cycle of fear, salary, bills, and regret. And I'm not just talking about money. I'm talking about building a life where you are free. Free from fear. Free from begging. Free from playing small. Because let's be honest, you don't want money just for the numbers. You want money because you want control over your life. This video isn't about getting rich quick. This is about never being broke again. And don't just watch this video. Feel every word. Let it shake you. Let it offend you. Let it wake you up. Because you deserve to live a powerful life. But that life is waiting on the other side of brutal honesty and uncomfortable truth. Rule 1. Train your brain to make more money. Your brain is the headquarters of your money. But most people have never trained it for wealth. Your brain is either a money machine, solving problems, thinking clearly and spotting opportunities, or a money blocker, full of fear, excuses, procrastination, and limiting beliefs. The truth is, you're not broke because of your wallet. You're broke because of your mindset. And here's the scary part. Your brain doesn't care if you're rich or poor. It only cares about what you train it to believe, repeat, and chase. If your brain is trained to survive, it will avoid risks. If your brain is trained to complain, it will find problems. If your brain is trained to consume, it will stay lazy. But if you train it to focus, to build, to solve, to sell, and to lead, then money starts coming to you. Not because it's magic, but because your mind becomes a magnet for value. Example, Liam had no money, no good family, and no lucky breaks. But he had one thing. He was sick of feeling poor. So every day before doing anything else, he trained his mind. He read one page of a smart book. He told himself, I will become valuable. He learned one new English word. He practiced thinking, not just scrolling. He asked himself, what skill can I learn that the world will pay for? Slowly, his brain changed. He stopped comparing. He stopped waiting. He started building. And within 3 years, he was making money online using the knowledge in his head. He's not rich by luck. He's rich because he trained his mind like a weapon while other people were busy scrolling, sleeping, or complaining. You can't make rich decisions with a poor thinking brain. If your mind is lazy, your money will disappear. If your brain is trained for comfort, it will reject growth. Most people are not broke. They're just mentally soft. How to start training your brain, even if you're broke. Write one money-making idea daily, even if it's bad. Train your brain to think in value, not gossip. Replace entertainment with education for 1 hour daily. Use English daily, not just for learning, but for thinking. Write journal entries. Talk to yourself. Watch valuable content. Say this every morning. I am becoming valuable. I am becoming unstoppable. I am training for wealth. Ask better questions. Not why am I broke, but how can I provide more value to the world today? If you don't train your mind to make money, someone else will train it to spend money, and you'll be broke forever. Train your brain like your life depends on it, because it does. Your job isn't just to work. Your job is to think better, learn faster, and stay sharper. This is rule 1, and it's the root of everything. If this rule doesn't change, nothing else will. Rule 2, money follows value, not effort. This rule will offend a lot of people, especially those who've been working hard their whole life and still feel broke. But sometimes the truth has to hit you in the chest before it can save you. The world is not fair, But the economy is brutally honest. It doesn't care how hard you work. It only cares how valuable you are. You could wake up at 4 a.m., sweat for 10 hours, carry bricks, clean toilets, and still not make enough to breathe freely. While someone else sits at a desk for 3 hours, makes one decision, writes one line of code, closes one deal, and earns in a day what you make in 6 months. That's not because life is unfair. It's because of this rule. Money doesn't care about effort. It chases value. Value means you solve a real problem, and you do it in a unique, rare, or skillful way. You do it for the right people. You do it better than others, and most importantly, people need what you do badly enough to pay for it. There are people who work hard, and there are people who work in a way the world rewards. A man in a village carrying 50 bricks on his head equals effort, but nobody values it because machines can now do it faster. Another person builds a website where thousands of people book services equals value. They did less physical effort, but their idea solves a real problem at scale. Let's say someone makes beautiful paper art. She spends hours crafting every piece, but earns only $3 per product. She's tired, invisible, and struggling. Then someone else creates a digital template on Canva, uploads it, and sells it 1,000 times a day. They never meet a single customer, but their income grows while they sleep. Why? Because one person is chasing perfection. The other is chasing scalable value. Working hard without being valuable is like shouting in a language no one understands. You're screaming, but the world can't hear you. If you want more money, ask yourself every single day, how can I become more valuable to more people starting today? Not in theory, but in skill, in clarity, in service, in problem solving. You become valuable when you know something people need. You can do something people can't do themselves. You can explain it, sell it, and deliver it consistently. You help others save time, energy, emotion, or money. You don't just do, you deliver results. And here's the golden rule of high earners. The faster and better you can solve important problems, the more you will be paid. Misplaced effort, helping people who don't pay or working where value is not recognized. For example, building an amazing skill but offering in a place where no one sees it, understands it, or respects it. Old you, effort mindset. New you, value mindset. Old you says, I work 12 hours a day. I want a raise. Nobody notices me. Hard work pays off. New you says, I create solutions people pay for. I'm going to become too valuable to ignore. I'll make myself impossible to miss. Smart value creation gets paid instantly. If you want to stop struggling with money, stop asking, how can I work harder? And start asking, how can I become more valuable? Because in the real world, money doesn't chase sweat. It chases solutions. And the people who understand that never stay broke for long. Rule 3, learn skills that make money. Start like this. The income you want is hidden inside a skill you haven't mastered yet. This rule is not optional because skills are the new money. If you don't have them, you'll stay stuck. If you grow them, you'll be free. Let's face it, most people say, I want to make more money, but they never stop to ask, what skill am I learning that actually creates income? Because school never taught them this. Because culture says, just work hard. Because nobody ever told them that money is a reward for solving problems. Skills are your tools. Without them, you're powerless. These are the tools that solve real-world problems, and people pay to have them solved. Examples of valuable skills: communication, speaking, copywriting, sales, design, branding, UX, web, app, and software development, marketing, SEO, email, content writing, advertising, video editing, content creation, and storytelling, English fluency, teaching, coaching, consulting, leadership, delegation, systems building, and strategy. If you don't upgrade your skill set, your dream life will stay a dream. If you don't sharpen your tools, you'll keep swinging at the tree and getting tired without results. A man with a sharp axe can do more in 10 minutes than a man with a blunt stick in 3 hours. People say, I'm not paid enough. The truth? You're not paid based on your effort. You're paid based on the market value of your skill. If you're doing something a million others can do, you're replaceable. If you're doing something rare, in demand, and powerful, you'll be paid well. Example, there was a young man who worked as a waiter. He smiled a lot, worked hard, stayed late, but he realized his job had a ceiling. For 6 months, every night after work, he studied digital marketing on his crack phone. No fancy course, just free YouTube videos and blogs. He practiced ad copy and sales pages. Then one day, he offered to run ads for a local gym for free. They got 22 new clients in a week. He started charging $300 per month, then $1,000, then built his own agency. Today, he earns $18,000 per month from a laptop. Same brain, different skill, different life. If you don't learn new skills, you'll keep begging for opportunities. But if you master high-value skills, people will beg to work with you. How to use this rule, even as a beginner. Pick one high-income skill, not 10. Focus is freedom. Practice daily, even for 30 minutes. Don't wait for perfection. Offer your skill for free at first. Prove your value. Collect testimonials. Build trust. Raise your prices as your skill grows. Build a simple portfolio. Even 3 examples can get you paid. Use English daily to double your opportunities. Money is not mysterious. It flows to those who solve problems. And you solve problems better when you have rare, useful, modern skills. Learn a new skill. Practice it like your life depends on it. Because it does. Rule 4, money grows where attention goes. If nobody knows you, nobody pays you. You could be the most talented, skilled, and disciplined person in the world. But if no one sees you, hears you, trusts you, or remembers you, you'll stay broke. This is the silent tragedy of millions of people. They're good at what they do, but invisible in the marketplace. And the marketplace doesn't reward invisible excellence. It rewards visible value. Think about 2 restaurants. One is hidden in a side street. Incredible food, amazing service, but no signs, no Instagram, no delivery apps. It stays empty. The other is average, but it's on the main road. Big signs, beautiful photos, social media ads. It's full every day. What's the difference? One focused on being perfect. The other focused on being visible. If you want to attract money, you need attention first. In today's world, attention is not optional. It's a form of capital. If you can get people's attention and use it wisely, you'll never struggle with money again. Because attention brings opportunities, trust, and clients. Visibility equals credibility equals profitability. How to get attention? You don't have to be loud or fake. You just have to consistently show up where people already look. Create content around your skill. Share your progress publicly. Offer value for free, especially at the start. Use platforms like Instagram, YouTube, LinkedIn, and Twitter. Answer questions, make tutorials, post ideas, show your face, or at least your voice, because someone right now is searching for what you offer. But they can't find you because you're hiding. You don't need to be the best. You just need to be seen. You need to be trusted. You need to be chosen. That will never happen if you keep saying, "I'm not ready. I don't want to post. I'm not comfortable with people watching me." You don't need to go viral. You just need to be visible to the right people. Invisibility is the enemy of income. Attention is the oxygen of modern money. Don't just be good, be seen. Don't just work hard, be discoverable. Your next big client, your next opportunity, your next jump in income is waiting to see you. But only if you show up. Rule 5, no one's coming to save you. Most people stay broke not because they lack potential, but because they're secretly waiting for someone else to change their life. Waiting for a promotion, waiting for the economy to improve, waiting for motivation, waiting for a rich partner, waiting for luck, waiting for the right moment. But the truth is brutal. Nothing changes until you do. The reason you're still stuck financially might not be your job, your parents, your past, or your city. It might be because you're still waiting to be rescued. You're waiting for someone to push you, believe in you, or give you a chance. But here's the real truth. No one is coming. Not your manager, not your crush, not your government, not even your God. I've seen this again and again. A boy keeps saying he wants to start a business. He watches every video. He dreams of passive income. But he keeps saying, "I'll start after I get some money." after someone helps me, after I feel ready. 3 years pass. Nothing changes because he never took full responsibility. Think about the gym. Every January, people flood in full of motivation. By February, 80% vanish. Why? Because they were relying on motivation, not ownership. They wanted the gym to fix them. They didn't want to own their outcome. The same goes for money. People want a shortcut, a savior, a secret. What they really need is to say, it's all on me now. No excuses, no waiting, no blaming. The moment you say, I don't care who didn't support me. I don't care what resources I don't have. I don't care if I'm not talented yet. I will find a way. That's the birth of financial freedom. That's when you stop looking outside and start creating inside. Your brain starts working differently. Your standards rise, your energy changes, and you stop tolerating poverty like it's a normal way of life. Responsibility is power. The more you blame, the weaker you get. The more you own, the freer you become. Even if something isn't your fault, it's still your responsibility to fix it, because no one will do it for you. Your financial life begins to transform the day you stop saying, why me? And start saying, try me. Stop waiting for luck. Stop hoping someone will come hold your hand. Your power is not in waiting. It's in deciding. You're not broke because you're unlucky. You're broke because you're not paying the full price required to escape poverty. Every level of life has a cost, not in dollars, but in sacrifice, time, pain, focus, and discomfort. The cost of financial freedom is higher than most people are willing to pay. Most people stay poor not because they're dumb or weak, but because they keep avoiding the real cost of change. They want a better life without leaving their comfort zone, more income without learning new skills, a business without giving up weekends, confidence without facing failure, respect without doing the hard work consistently. They want the rewards, but not the price tag. Every successful person you've ever admired has paid a price that would break most people. They walked through years of obscurity, sleepless nights, loneliness, embarrassment, sacrifice, and deep uncertainty. They paid the price in full, in advance, and in pain, and that's why they're free today. There was a man who dropped out of school in a small city. He had no money, no connections, no plan B, but he made one decision. I will become a highly paid expert, no matter what it costs me. For 18 months straight, he locked himself in a small rented room. No friends, no parties, no Netflix, no celebrations. He studied copywriting 10 hours a day. He practiced by writing fake ads and rewriting real ones. He rewrote best-selling product pages by hand 50 times each. He stopped eating out, stopped buying clothes, and used all his money for books and courses. He applied to 50 jobs and got rejected by 47, but he kept going. Every rejection made him better. Every hour alone made him sharper. By month 19, he was making $2,000 per month. By month 27, he crossed $10,000 per month. By year 3, he became one of the highest paid copywriters in his country, all from a tiny room and a broken laptop. He didn't wait for motivation. He didn't chase balance. He didn't care what people said. He simply said, I will suffer now so I don't suffer forever. While others scrolled, he studied. While others relaxed, he sacrificed. When no one was clapping, he was bleeding in silence. That's the rule of success. You don't get to be rich without paying. You only get to choose how you pay, in advance with sacrifice or forever with struggle. Imagine climbing a mountain. The top is your dream life, the view, the peace, the reward. But the climb is hard. It hurts. It's lonely. That's the price. Most people quit halfway up because the pain is too much, then pretend they didn't really want to top anyway. But the few who keep climbing, they don't complain about the pain. They understand that the view from the top is reserved for those willing to bleed to get there. If you're still looking for discounts on success, shortcuts, or balance, you're not ready yet. You must pay the full price, in full, in advance, without complaining. That's the difference between dreamers and doers. Most people don't fail because they're not capable. They fail because they settle too early. They get one job and stop learning. Reach one goal and stop growing. Earn some money and start spending instead of compounding. Beat one challenge and then fall asleep. They mistake a checkpoint for the finish line. And that's where the fall begins. There was a man who started freelancing in design. For 2 years, he hustled, practiced every night, and took low-paying jobs just to build skills and trust. Then one day, it clicked. He got 3 international clients and made $5,000 a month. His friends called him rich. He called himself successful. So he stopped learning, stopped improving, rejected small jobs, slept in, scrolled more, got lazy with deadlines, didn't upgrade his tools. At first, nothing seemed wrong. But soon his best clients left, his portfolio aged, and his competitors overtook him. His income dropped to $1,000 a month. It was harder to come back, not because he failed, but because he lost his hunger. Growth dies the moment you think you no longer need to grow. If you think, I've learned enough, someone still learning will destroy you. If you think, I'm good at what I do, someone improving will replace you. If you think, I'm earning enough, you'll fall back the moment you stop growing. Success is not a destination. It's a mindset, a lifestyle, a daily battle. You don't just become rich. You stay hungry, stay sharp, stay humble. The moment you say, I've done enough, you've already started to fall. Money doesn't chase comfort. It chases those who wake up every day asking, how can I improve today? Even by 1%. That hunger, that refusal to settle, is what keeps winners winning. Everyone else is watching, but here's the truth. You don't need to wait for someone to hire you. You can make money by creating a problem people didn't know they had and solving it better than anyone else. The world doesn't pay for effort. It pays for insight and solutions. Most people are waiting to be hired, waiting to be picked, waiting for someone to hand them an opportunity. But what if you stopped waiting and decided to create your own? That's what smart entrepreneurs do. They don't wait for the market. They create the market. The most successful people don't just solve existing problems. They create awareness of new ones and then sell the solution. That's how Uber, Airbnb, Apple, Canva, and YouTube became giants. Before they existed, nobody asked for them. But once they arrived, people couldn't imagine life without them. Before the iPhone, no one said, I need a smartphone with one button. Before Canva, no one said, I wish design was easy. But once they saw the solution, everything changed. That's the skill of the future. Problem creation, problem solving, and problem communication. A 21-year-old boy in Africa once noticed that local shops in his town had no logos, no signs, no branding. They just painted fresh milk or mama rice by hand. He realized people don't trust what they can't recognize. So he learned design from YouTube, practiced logos and posters, then went door to door saying, let me modernize your shop. Pay me later if it works. He made free logos for the first 10 shops. People noticed. The signs looked better, sales improved, and soon everyone wanted his help. He created a problem people didn't know they had and solved it profitably. Now he runs a small design studio, trains kids for free, and serves clients across towns, all without waiting for a job or degree. He didn't find an opportunity. He created one. You can do the same. Maybe you live in a small town where everyone sells tea or snacks. You notice no one offers online orders, no loyalty programs, no healthy options, no late night service. These aren't obstacles. They're opportunities in disguise. When you see a gap and fill it, whether through a product, service, or idea, you've just created a new income stream. You don't need money to make money. You need eyes that see problems and hands that build solutions. If you master the art of spotting invisible problems and crafting creative answers, you'll never beg for work again. The market won't just want you, it will need you. Now let's talk about time, your most expensive asset. You can lose $1,000 and earn it back. You can lose a job and find another. But when you lose time, it's gone forever. Broke people treat time like it's unlimited. Rich people treat time like it's gold. Time is what turns skill into mastery. Time is what turns effort into freedom. Time is what turns ideas into income. Waste it, and you're burning the only currency you can't regenerate. When you invest your hours into learning, creating, and building, time multiplies your results. But if you spend it scrolling, gossiping, or overthinking, it disappears and takes your dreams with it. Every I'll start tomorrow Just one more video, I'm too tired today, is a tiny lie your lazy brain tells to keep you stuck. Your hours shape your life. Time creates money, not the other way around. So don't start by counting your cash. Start by counting your minutes. Every second you waste, someone else is using to learn, sell, build, and grow. 6 months from now, they'll be ahead. Not because they're smarter, but because they respected time. Stop trying to look rich. One of the biggest reasons people stay broke is because they're addicted to appearing successful instead of becoming successful. They buy phones they can't afford, shoes they don't need, clothes they wear once, and cars that drain their savings, all to impress people who aren't even watching. The sad truth? Most people who look rich are drowning in debt. Real wealth doesn't need to shout. It whispers, quietly, confidently, consistently. Real wealth isn't the girl who wears the same jeans but owns stocks, the guy who takes a bus but invests monthly, the woman who skips vacations but owns property. Fake wealth screams. Real wealth whispers. There was a young man who got his first job, earning $5,000 a month. On Instagram, he looked successful. New phone, fancy dinner, vacations, grind mode captions. But behind the filters, he was borrowing money to pay rent. When his company downsized, he had no savings, no plan, and no peace. It took him 2 years to recover, not financially, but mentally. The emotional cost of pretending was heavier than his debt. Looking rich is easy, but it's also temporary and fake. True wealth doesn't wear logos. It lives in your savings, your skills, your freedom to say no. You can impress the world and stay broke, or ignore the world for 2 years and never worry about money again. Stop chasing validation. Stop performing for likes. Start building for life. Because the ones who quietly build while others pretend, they win forever. And finally, remember this. Poor people spend first. Rich people invest first. That's where the real difference begins. Subscriptions can train your brain in the wrong way. Every time you get money, you feel the need to get rid of it. That habit becomes a pattern. That pattern becomes your lifestyle. And eventually, that lifestyle becomes your prison. There was a girl who started selling handmade candles online. She made her first $200 profit in 1 week. Excited, she spent it all. Clothes, a Bluetooth speaker, a small celebration with friends. The next week, her sales dropped. She had no money left for new materials, no ads, no packaging, no backup. She said, business is hard. But the truth was, she didn't invest, she spent. Now compare her to her friend, who also made $200. Instead of spending it, she reinvested $150 into better photos, packaging, and a domain name. Her sales doubled, then tripled by the second month. She was earning $1,000, but still living as if she only had $200. Why? Because she didn't just want to make money. She wanted to build money. Here's the difference in mindset. Poor thinking. I made money. I deserve to spend it. Rich thinking. I made money. I need, protect, and multiply it. If you can't manage $100, you won't manage $1,000. If you don't respect $50, you'll disrespect $5,000. It's not about how much you earn. It's about what you do with what you earn. Rich people use money as a tool to build more. Poor people use money as a reward for existing. That's the mindset shift that changes everything. Every time you receive money, no matter how small, ask yourself, how much of this can I save, invest, or reinvest? Not, what can I buy? Start small. 10% into a skill course, 10% into savings, 10% into tools or materials. Even $20 invested in your business is better than $200 spent on validation. Poor people see money as a moment. Rich people see it as momentum. Every dollar you keep, reinvest, or direct toward growth becomes a seed. Every dollar you waste becomes a lost branch. If you plant enough seeds now, your money will eventually start working harder than you do. That's when you stop trading time for survival and start building a life of true wealth. No one becomes rich by accident. Success isn't luck, fate, or genetics. It's a system built with intention and consistency. Most broke people believe a dangerous lie. Rich people are just lucky. They think, he got rich because he knew someone, or she had supportive parents. But here's the truth. Every financially free person made decisions you're still avoiding. They took actions you're not taking. They sacrificed in silence. They studied while others scrolled. They created while others consumed. They built habits that made them powerful. They invested while others spent. They didn't accidentally build freedom. They designed it one small piece at a time. There was a boy from a rural town. No Wi-Fi, no rich friends, no big school. His father ran a small shop. His mother cleaned houses. He only used a second-hand phone after 10 p.m. when data was cheaper. But he didn't believe in luck. He believed in systems. He used that phone to learn English, study freelancing, and practice writing for imaginary clients. He researched businesses, learned to sell, and improved every day. He made a daily checklist. Read 10 pages. Send one pitch. Learn one skill. Spend 10 minutes thinking in silence. Treat every rejection as progress. He treated growth like a formula, not a fantasy. Within 3 years, he was earning more online than his father made in a year, all through consistency and systems. You don't get lucky and end up successful. You build it like a house, brick by brick, habit by habit. If you have no daily system, no money plan, no skill routine, and no long-term goal, you won't accidentally become rich. You'll never see a successful person say, I don't know how this happened, because they made it happen. You don't get rich by chance, you get rich by choice. And that choice must be made every single day. You are the reason you're still broke and the solution. Until you take full responsibility, you'll never have full power. People blame everything, their parents, job, school, partner, economy, or even the algorithm. But none of that is why you're broke. You're broke because you haven't taken ownership. Blaming feels good for 5 minutes. Ownership makes you powerful forever. There was a woman, 34 years old, divorced, with a 3-year-old child. She lived in a small apartment, worked a low-paying job, and spent years blaming her situation. One day, she looked in the mirror and said, I'm done blaming. If I am the problem, then I am also the solution. She began waking up 30 minutes earlier to learn marketing, watched YouTube tutorials at night, used her daughter's nap time to practice writing, offered to manage a small business's Instagram account for free, got results, charged money, and grew. 2 years later, she wasn't just making more money. She was in control of her time, her skills, and her confidence. She didn't just escape poverty. She escaped the blame cycle. The moment you say, it's my fault I waste time, or it's my fault I don't have savings, is the moment your new life begins. Because if it's your fault, you can fix it. If it's always someone else's, you never will. Your biggest enemy isn't the world. It's your excuses. Your greatest asset isn't your money. It's your responsibility. You're not stuck because of the world. You're stuck because you haven't decided to break out. When you stop waiting and start owning, that's when everything begins. You've now learned 13 of the most powerful, honest, and life-changing money rules ever created. But the real transformation starts at Rule 13, because that's where your old life ends and your new one begins. Once you stop saying, it's not my fault, and start saying, I will fix everything. Starting today, that's when you win. If you're still reading this, it means something inside you refuses to stay the same. You're done blaming, done waiting, done surviving. Money isn't just about numbers. It's about discipline, respect, systems, and ownership. You now have 2 choices. Watch another video and forget everything. Or wake up tomorrow as a new person. Someone who learns, builds, tracks, and grows. If you're ready to become that version of yourself, don't just read this. Live it. This isn't the end of your journey. It's the beginning of your most powerful chapter.